Hi guys, in today's video, I'll be teaching you how to add horror to your Gorilla Tag fan game. Now this is advanced horror. This is just like scary baboon horror. It's gonna have procedural animation movements. You're gonna be able to customize the range and stuff and the speed. Gonna have a jump scare, of course, because why wouldn't it have a jump scare? And it's going to have it so when you die, it has like a ragdoll spawn. You'll see, it's just like scary baboon if you've played that before. All the scripts to this will be in my Discord server, link in the description, and in a Google Drive link also in the description. If you need any help or something doesn't work for you, make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. And yeah, like and subscribe. Let's get straight into the video. Before I show you anything, shout out to Elo and Barry. They'll be credited in the description. They kind of made this package. So here we are on our game. First, you want to download the package and just drag it into Unity. Click all, make sure everything's selected, and click import. Or if you want, you can right click, import package, custom package, and then just find the package from there. Now the folder will be called horror scripts. So go into it and you'll see that it has some sounds here. It has some horror sounds. This one is a jump scare. This one is like a metal door. This is just the sound of a monster. And this is just something, I don't know, but just to let you know, it does have some sounds. Now that we have the package imported, I'm going to quickly show you guys how to make a map. So first, make sure you have Pro Builder. If you don't, go to Window, Package Manager. Now here, go to Packages, go to Unity Registry. Now there's three things. First, go to AI Navigation and click Install. This will allow the AI to move around and stuff. Now also find Animation Rigging and install that. It'll allow the monster to have procedural animation. If you don't want procedural animation, then you can just make a normal animation and you don't need to do this. But in this tutorial, we're going to do procedural animation. And then for the map, scroll down and find Pro Builder and then just install it or update it if you have to. Now that all three of those are imported, just close out of that. I'm going to save because I love saving, as you can probably tell. Now to make the horror map, just click the plus here, go to 3D object, click on cube. I'm just going to call this horror map. Then go to Pro Builder, click it, click Pro Builderize, and then click on Flip Normals. And then here, where it says Box Collider, just click the three dots, remove component, and add a Mesh Collider there. Now, this is pretty easy. Here's the face selection tool. Now, you're just going to use this to drag stuff out. Now, to start off, I'm just going to make a starting area here. Now, I'm going to go to the Scale tool, and I'm going to hold down Shift, which pretty much extrudes it. So hold down Shift, and then do whatever you want. I'm just going to move this down here so it's like good like that. I'm going to hold down Shift and extrude it out. I know I'm probably not explaining this the best, but if you want, you can go search up a quick Pro Builder tutorial. Now once you drag it out, I'm going to hold down Shift again to bring it out. Now this is going to be the actual horror map. So I'll just teach you how to make some like tunnels and stuff. So pretty much just select stuff and then move them. And now let's say I want to make it go this way. You're going to stop here and then you're going to hold down Shift, make it go here, and then select these two and make it go, and then you have a tunnel. You can really make this map however you want. So now I've just made some things here. Here I'm gonna make like a big room, because why not have a big room? This big room here is where I'm gonna make my monster spawn. But now let's say you have something like this here, where let's say you want these edges to connect. Well, first I'm going to go here and I'm going to hold Shift and bring it out the best I can. Now it's a bit difficult, but hold down Shift, extrude it. And then when you have these two faces selected, go to Pro Builder. And then in Pro Builder, if the red doesn't show up, then just reselect them. But then click Delete Faces. And then on these two, click Delete Faces. Then you'll have an open space here. Then go to Edge Selection and first select the bottom two edges. Then you can do Bridge Edges. Then you'll see it connects. Then you can do the same thing for these sides. Just do bridge edges. Keep in mind, you can only do two at once. And then just do bridge edges and keep on doing it for each of these things. Now it's perfectly bridged. Now I'm going to add a texture because it looks nice. So here's my insane rock texture. It looks so great. Now before I teach you how to do the actual horror, I'm going to show you how to make it so like you have a key card. And then when you pick up the key card, you bring it to a key card holder. And then when you put it in, it opens up a door or something to bring you to the next level. But in order to do that, you need to have Photon VR imported and stuff. So go follow my Photon VR tutorial. It'll be linked in the description because you need that for both this to work and for the monster to work. Now go to resources, go to Photon VR, go to player. Now here's our insane model, as you can tell. But now I'm going to make a key card. If you don't want it to be a key card, you can make it whatever you want. So under left or right hand cosmetics, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to do right hand cosmetics. I'm going to make a cube and then I'm just going to scale it down and make it look like a key card. Or you could have your own key card model made in Blender. But for for the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to make it like this. Now I'm just going to add a texture to this key card to make it look nice. Now I'm going to name the key card, and then I'm just going to drag it to 0, 0, 0. So it's practically in the hand, and then just disable it. And then of course, make sure to save. Now when that's disabled, just copy by doing Control C, go out of this, and then Control V, and then you can enable it. Then you're going to drag this key card wherever you want it to be found. So let's say I want the key card to be found right here. I'll just put it down right here. Also, now that I remember, if you made it in Unity, go to key card and then box collider, just remove component so it doesn't collide. Now here's the key card. Now on the key card, we're going to add in horror scripts here, we're going to drag on enable and disable. Both of those should have hand tag. If you don't have the hand tag on your hands, then just go into Gorilla Rig. On your left hand and right hand controller, make sure you have a tag called hand tag. If you don't have it, click add tag called hand tag, exactly like this. Click save. For layers on your left hand controller, make sure you have a layer called left hand. If you don't have it, then click add layer, make it left hand, and then right hand, make it right hand, and then just go back and put them on. Then on both left hand and right hand controller, add a sphere collider by going to add component. Click sphere collider, then turn on is trigger and make the radius 0.06, and there we go. And then hand tag should have the hand tag on it. And then for disable, just drag on the key card itself, and then object to enable, we're just going to click the plus, click create empty, and then name it key card holder. And then in key card, just do key card holder, and then duplicate it, and then do key card holder fake. And now drag on another disable underneath the enable, and then make it enable keycard holder and disable keycard holder fake. You'll see why in a second. And now under keycard holder fake, just make a new cube or something, and this is practically just going to be the thing that the keycard has to go in. Now to make this look good on the cube, just size it like this, then go to Pro Builder, Pro Builderize, Box Collider, remove, Mesh Collider, add. There we go. Now in Pro Builder, just go to the face selection, click on it, go to the sizing tool thing and hold down shift and then make it small like this, then kind of make it like this, and then just go back to the move tool, hold down shift, make it go in, then just like scale it down a bit, make it go a bit deeper like that. Now it kind of looks like a holder. I know it looks pretty terrible, but yeah. Then I'm just gonna scale it down a bit like this, and there we go. On the cube, click Control C, Control V, drag it under keycard holder, but on this one under mesh collider, turn on convex and is trigger, but then just disable keycard holder. Now duplicate keycard holder fake again and rename it to keycard holder done. Trust me, I know it's weird, but then go back to the actual keycard and just Control C, Control V and drag it under keycard holder done. Then just drag it here and delete the 3 scripts that we put on it earlier and just rotate it to fit in here. Just drag it to fit in here. This isn't necessary, but it adds some sort of realism, so you put it in and it's actually there. And now go here to the map. We're gonna make a thing here that's a door, so just hold shift, select the face. If you don't have a nice even face like this, then you can just, you know, go to whatever face and then just hold down shift and then just like size it or whatever. So I'm gonna hold down shift, drag it out, and then I'm gonna do it again and make you fall down into a large hole like that. Now we're gonna make a door, so click the plus, 3D objects, cube, go here, and then just like resize it to make it a door. Make sure it covers up the thing. And of course, let's add a nice material on it to make it look nice. Doesn't that look so nice? I'm just gonna rename this to door. Now make sure that it's covering all of these edges. And now go to the keycard holder and the cube on it, and you're going to want to add enable, and then another enable, and then disable. Now on the first enable, make it do 1 enable and then 2 disables. Now on the enable, make it enable keycard done, then make it disable, and then make it disable keycard holder. Make sure the keycard holder one is last. But now one more thing, we actually need to make the keycard enable into your hand. Now in this tutorial, I explain how to do this with photon cosmetics, but if you want, you can just make it enable a keycard directly in your left hand controller or right hand controller. It's really up to you. I'd probably recommend doing that instead of doing photon cosmetics for this, but you do whatever you want to do. So you're gonna want to go to my cosmetic tutorial, or in my Discord server, go to the cosmetic scripts. My cosmetic tutorial will also be in the description, but you don't really need to follow it for this case. So now go to the cosmetic scripts new thing, go in the key card, and on the box collider, turn on is trigger, and then drag on the change right cosmetic if you did the right one. If you did the left, then do left, and just type in key card or whatever you named it. And then go here to the key card holder cube and drag on the change right cosmetic and don't fill anything in. And now we have the whole key card system set up. I'm sorry if that was a bit confusing, but yeah. Now I'm just going to select all of those and drag it to under horror map. Now we're going to do the horror AI. Now for this, you do need a model for procedural animation. So make sure you have an actual model. There'll be a model in here. So this model here will be in your folder here. So just drag it in, right click and prefab and unpack completely and just call it monster. If you have another monster of your own, make sure that's rigged. I'm just going to resize this up a bit. Now when it's selected, go to animation rigging, go to bone renderer setup. Then you should see like this. Then go to window, AI, navigation obsolete. And then just click bake. And now if you turn on gizmos, you'll see that it did that. But let's say we don't want it to walk there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to this map here. So I'm going to go to the walls, slippery walls, and the floor. And then go to object, and I'm going to make that non-walkable. Now pretty much what that does, it makes it so monsters can't go there and whatever. But now here, I'm going to go into the face selection, and I'm just going to select all the floor here. Make sure you don't select any of the walls and just the floor, or else the monster will walk on the walls and it won't be good. So select everywhere where you want the monster to be able to move. So don't do the starting room, just do where you want the monster to move around. Then in Pro Builder, click on detach faces. Then this, I'm gonna call this horror floor, like that. And then go to navigation, and now turn on navigation static if the thing doesn't show up for you, and just make it walkable. And then go to bake and click on bake. Now you can see this is where it can move around. Now go to your monster and add the monster navigation script. Go to tag string and make it body just like that. And now go to your resources, Photon VR, go into your Photon VR player, go to the body here, and on tag, click add tag, plus type in body, spelt and capitalized exactly like that. Click save, then go to body and make the tag body. So then it follows the body. And now back here, click on add component and add a nav mesh agent. And then just drag this one onto where it says agent there. Now for detection range, if you turn on gizmos, you can actually change it. So you can make it really big if you want. So if you're over there, it detects you. I'm just going to make it to 7. 7 is a decent number. And then for monster speed wander, put it to 4. And then the speed chase, put it to like 8. Now for points, you need to make a bunch of wander points. So on a horror map, create empty, make it wander points. And now just right click, create empty. And then you're going to make these the wander points, which is pretty much where the monster is going to go to. So put it kind of close to the ground, but not in any walls or anything. So I'm going to put one there. I'm going to duplicate it, move it there. Duplicate it there, duplicate it, and pretty much if the monster is not chasing anyone, then it's just gonna move around and go to these things. Now go back and click on your monster, and then click the lock icon on the top right there, and then select all of your wander points, and then just drag it onto where it says points. Now you can unlock that. Now here on nav mesh agents, turn off auto braking. Now on the monster, click add components, type in rig builder, and click on rig builder. Now on monster, right click, create empty, and call it rig. Now if you already have a rig, it's different, so you have to do this. Then add component and just add a rig. Then right click, create empty, call it right. Then duplicate and call it left. By the way, this is for procedural animation. Then select them both and then add a component and search for 2 bone IK constraints. By the way, if you don't have these, make sure you imported the animation rigging. Now go into your actual rig and you're going to find your wrist, the left wrist and the right wrist. So on left for the tip, drag in the left wrist, and on the right for the tip, drag in the right wrist. And then individually click the 3 dots and click auto setup from tip transformation, and then on the left do the same thing, 3 dots, auto setup from tip transformation. Now you see the red boxes on the wrist and these 2 red dots here. That's how you know that it's working. Then select both of the hints and drag on the IK foot solver script. Then for terrain layer, just make it whatever your floor is. So it's probably default, so just make it default. And then for body, just drag on the monster. And then on the right hint, drag left hint to other foot. And on the left hint, drag right hint to the other foot. I hope that makes sense. And now go back to the monster, and in rig builder where it says rig, just drag in the rig that you just made into rig there. Now we can test it out real quick to see if it moves around. Now you need to be in a photon lobby for it to move around. And now when you join and load in, you'll see it's like this. But as you can see, it's not actually working. So let me teach you how to fix this. Now to fix it, we actually did this wrong. So go to both of the hints and remove the IK foot solver. And the script's actually supposed to be on the targets. So select both of the targets and drag on the IK foot solver. Now once again, terrain layer, make that default. For body, make it the monster and other foot. Once again, on the right foot, make the other foot the left foot target, and on the left target, make the other foot the right target, and there we go. So now let's click play and test it out. So we're loading into our photon now, and as you can see, it works, but it's a bit glitched. So the reason that I was glitched is because you could see that the hands are going to the side. So to fix that, so go to the rig, the actual rig, and move it a bit to the left, so like above this, I would say, maybe, and it should be good. So now go to your monster, right click, 3D objects, capsule. This is going to be for the jump scare, so I'll just call this jump scare. Now on this, drag on the teleport gorilla player script, and on the capsule collider, turn on is trigger. Then for gorilla player, of course, make that gorilla player. Now for objects to disable, we're just going to leave that blank because we're going to add ragdolls later. So for teleport location, just not in the monster, but I guess in the horror map, right click, create empty, call it respawn. Now move the respawn to wherever you want the respawn to be. So I'm just going to make it respawn back here, and then go back to the jump scare and drag the respawn to the teleport location. So for the teleport sound, just click add components and search for audio source. For audio source, drag on the really good hit sound or whatever you want it to be. Turn off play on awake, and then drag this audio source to the teleport sound. Now for teleport overlay, this is what's going to be the actual jump scare. So go to main camera, right click, create empty, and call it jump scare. Now under the jump scare, right click, 3D object, cube, and then ProBuilderize, and then flip normals, so it's like this. And then make sure it's like in good view, and then just add the monster model under the jump scare. Just rotate it like this. Now we're gonna make a scary animation that, you know, jump scares you, so maybe its arms go up and down. So I'm gonna unpack completely. Now go to animation. If you don't have the tab, go to window, animation, and open up the animation tab. And now once you have the jump scare monster model selected, click create, and then call it jump scare, and now click record. And now I'm just gonna make it move the head side to side. So I'm gonna go to 10 seconds here, and I'm just gonna move it left. I'm gonna go to 20, gonna make it go normal kind of, and then at 30 I'm gonna make it move to the right. Then at 40 I'm gonna make it go back to normal. I'm gonna unrecord, and now as you can see, if I play it, it looks so scary, and this is our scary jump scare. It's insanely scary. Yeah. And now go to jump scare and disable it, and now go back to the jump scare capsule and drag the jump scare you just made under teleport overlay. Now on this capsule collider, turn off the mesh renderer. And now one more thing, go back to the jump scare capsule, go to layer, add layer, make a new layer called non-collidable, then go to edit, project settings, then go to physics, and here where it says non-collidable and default, uncheck that. Now go back to the jump scare thing and make the layer non-collidable. Also go back to the jump scare and make the wait time 0.5. Now duplicate the jump scare by doing Control D and call this Ragdoll spawner. And now remove the teleport gorilla player and the audio source. So now go to the Ragdoll spawner, and you're going to add the networked Ragdoll spawner script onto this. For spawn cooldown, put that to 2. Now go to your resources folder, Photon VR player, and whatever your player model is, go back to resources and drag the player model into resources here. Just call this Ragdoll. Now go into Ragdoll here. Now on the actual Ragdoll here, click add components, add a photon view, just like that. Make the ownership transfer takeover, synchronization, reliable delta compressed. Then add a photon transform view, and then add on the Ragdoll destroy script. Now for Ragdoll here, just drag on the top Ragdoll here. And for destroy time, just make it 7. This is pretty much how long you want the Ragdoll to be there, as it says. I made it as self-explanatory as I could. So now go to your torso and add a rigid body, just like that. Now this whole next part is probably going to be a bit confusing, but just stay with me if you can. So select your head, upper arm left, forearm left, and hand left. Click on add components and add a rigid body, and then also add a character joint. Now on head here, which says connected body, drag on the torso. Now on the upper arm, drag on head. On the forearm, drag on the upper arm, and on hand, drag on the forearm. And then you do the same thing for the other one. So on these 3, add a character joint, and well, it automatically adds a rigid body, so that's fine. Now for upper arm, make it the torso, forearm, make it the upper arm. For hand, make it the forearm. Now first go to upper arm left and right click, go to 3D object and click on a capsule. Now this capsule may be really big, but that's fine. Just size it down really small and then kind of just make it fit the arm. We'll make it go inside of the arm, so something like this is good. Doesn't need to be perfect or anything. Then copy the capsule, put it under forearm, and then just make it match the forearm. Doesn't need to be perfect at all, but just make it the best you can. Now for the hand left, right click, 3D object, cube. Then once again, this cube is going to be really big, just make it smaller. Now for the cube, make it kind of flat, and you kind of just want to make it cover the whole hand. So something like this is good, but it doesn't really matter. Just make it however you want, and that's good. Now select the cube and the two capsules just made and turn off the mesh renderer and keep the colliders on them. Then we're going to do the same exact thing, but just on the other arm. So for upper arm, right click, 3D object, capsule, size it down. So that's good for the upper arm. Now I'm going to go into the forearm, so drag that there. I don't know what's happening, but it looks like my Unity is a bit glitched or something, but that's fine. So now that's good. Now once again, I'm just gonna remove the mesh renders or just turn them off on those. And now for hand, right click, 3D object, cube. This is pretty confusing. And turn off mesh renderer and make sure to save that. Now go back to Ragdoll spawner, and now for Ragdoll, drag in the Ragdoll. Now one more thing, go into the horror scripts folder and you need to drag the networked Ragdoll spawner and drag it to assets. So it's in assets, and then drag it into your resources folder. It has to be in your resources folder or else it probably won't work. Now go back to your Ragdoll spawner, and for spawn position, go to your monster, right click, empty, and name it spawn position. And honestly, just make this where the mouth of your monster is, so it kind of looks like it's like coming from the mouth. Then go to Ragdoll spawner and make the spawn position that. And there we go. Now one more thing that's in Scary Baboon is when you get closer to the monster, there's like a red static overlay. So now I'll teach you guys how to add that. Now for this, you will need post-processing. So if you don't have that, go to window, go to package manager. I think you actually need URP. So to set this all up, watch my realistic lighting tutorial, also link in the description. So you need URP and you need the main thing for this post-processing. Now under the monster, right click and create empty and call it monster global volume. Now you might already have a global volume. That's completely fine. Just go to volume here and in profile, click new. Make sure you don't have the old one and you just have the new one. And then go to post-processing and click on film grain. Then for type, turn it on and make it medium 3. Turn both of those on and put them both full. So now you have it like this. Now go to color adjustments. Turn post exposure to 1.78. Turn contrast to 30.7. By the way, these are just the ones that I have in my game. For color filter, put it to fully red like that. For hue shift, turn it on but keep it at 0. I don't even know why I have that. Probably not necessary. Then go to saturation and make it 34.2. Now for mode, change it to local. Then click fix and then add a sphere collider. Then make the blend distance 5. Make the radius for this 0.03 and turn on is trigger. Then you're all good. Of course, you can customize it if you want. You can change the radius of this. This pretty much just changes how far out you need to be. Blend distance kind of changes how far out you need to be for it to be like the fullest. So I find 5 pretty good. So it's like when it gets like kind of close, it starts becoming red, and then when you get really close, it's like really red. But that's just how I have it. I'll make sure to save. Also, one more thing, under your jump scare, go to the cube, remove the box collider. Now also go to the spawn position here and on layer, make it non-collidable. Now here, back on the monster, on the nav mesh agent speed, make the speed 7.1, the angular speed 400, acceleration 12. Now also click on add components, add a photon view, make the ownership transfer takeover and make this reliable delta compressed. Then a photon transform view. Okay guys, now there is a little issue that I told you guys to do. So pretty much go back into your Photon VR player, and I told you guys to drag the model into the resources folder, right? But pretty much that makes it so your actual player model here does the ragdoll thing. So what you do, when you drag it in, it should like be a prefab like this. Just right click, prefab, unpack completely. And now you can remove these scripts and stuff that we did on it. So delete those, and then so select the head and all these three, and then all these three, and then remove the character joints and the rigid bodies. You need to do it in that order. And then back in the torso, remove the rigid body. And now also you need to delete the capsule, and cube, and capsule, and then cube. Just delete those. But now if you go back into your ragdoll, they should still be there. So yeah, the issue was that when you drag it in, it makes everything that happens in the prefab happen in your photon thing too. But now make sure when you did that, it was all unpacked. Now before we test, I actually forgot, you guys need to disable key card holder done, and then save. And now we test it out. Now if we connect to the lobby, you can see that it moves around. As you can see, the hands are still going to the side, but to fix it, you can just move around the rig of the thing, of the monster, when you're out of play mode, and then just mess around with that. Keep on trying. And yeah, so now as you can see, the monster will follow us, and when we get jump scared, you couldn't hear that, but it just played a very, very loud sound. And as you can see, it jump scared us, and the ragdoll spawned. Let's try that again. So if we jump scare ourselves here, the ragdoll spawns. And yeah, if you want, you can make the ragdoll a lot better, you know, by adding like, I don't know, blood or something. But now for the time being, let's disable the monster to see if the other thing works. So if we go here to the key card and we touch the key card, we pick it up in this hand. And now if we go over here, we go here, and the thing is not enabled. So let's quickly fix that. Go to the key card. So let's just try it again. Maybe something messed up. So it looks like key card holder is enabled, but it just doesn't show up or something. But anyways, it's enabled. What you should do, you should instead of making it a right hand cosmetic, you should go to resources, Photon VR player, and then you need to have the newest version of Photon. You should make a new cosmetic slot and just set it up. I'm not going to explain how to do that, but that's what you should do. And then just make it like disable on spawn when you load in. So you can just make a script that pretty much disables it on spawn. You can ask for help for someone, because I'm not going to explain all that to you right now. But now we touch this, it does it, and the door opens, and we're chilling, and we fall down, and we were into the next level. Now if you want it to be like big scary where you fall down and then a vent closes above you, you could literally just add like a cube here, like a trigger, turn on its trigger, make the layer not collidable, and then just make it like enable a vent. And then yeah, it's that easy. And yeah, I'm sorry if this video is too long or too confusing in a lot of parts, because it is. If something didn't work for you, make sure to go and rewatch the video step by step exactly as I do it, because there's so much here that you could easily mess up on. If you need any help with this, make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. The package will also be there, and in a Google Drive link in the description. If you enjoy my videos, please consider becoming a channel member, because it's only $2 a month, and you get so many awesome perks, including getting to see my videos a bit early, and including getting a shout out at the end of every single video that I make, just like all of the wonderful people on the screen right now. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below some video ideas that you want me to make. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, guys, that's it for me today. Peace.